want to introduce myself. My name is Leslie DeMarco and I am the owner of Matriarch Medicine. And then this is my son, Ome. He's going to help us out to make fire cider today. Fire cider seemed to be very loud. It wanted me to know what it was, and so I started making it without even really a recipe. I just kind of had seen people make their own so much that I just started throwing things in. And the way that I make it, it's my most popular item in my apothecary. It's delicious, it's not too much. Sometimes fire cider can be just a lot for a person, in the flavors, in the spice, in the ginger. And I've just been able to create a medicine that's really nice for people. And so my goal with my apothecary is to help women reawaken their knowledge of medicine from the kitchen, medicine from plants. And I love when women ask me what's my recipe. You can make your own, and then you can also adjust it how you would like it and how your family would like it. So on the table, I have all of the ingredients that I use. Everything is fresh. I also want to say there's a huge stigma about making sure everything that you get is organic and making sure everything you get is fresh. And in reality, we can use what we have, and the medicine is still medicine. So if you only had rosemary from a jar and you only had powdered turmeric, that's okay too. That is still coming from the plant, and there doesn't need to be any level of what has to be, what you know, any kind of weird stigma around it. Use what you have. It's just whatever you have access to, and the affordability in your life as well. So with the turmeric, I like to peel off as much as I can with a spoon, just the back of a spoon. Just get off as much of the skin as you can, because if you have the skin on there, it's fine as well, but it can take the extraction process a little longer to break through all of, you know, the proteins and the fibrous parts of the skin. So it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just to help the process along. And I do the same thing with the ginger. Just skin off what you can. And so now what I like to do is just not thin, like, you know, turkey slices, but thin enough slices of, kind of like that. You can see that thinness. That helps when we're extracting. It doesn't have to take as much time. Ome decided that the compost bowl was supposed to go on his hair. Cut off the sides, one side and the other, peel it all the way around, and then lay one of the flat sides down and half it. And we put them like this. And I like to slice them to where we have like little rainbow onions. Like that. I like the bigger chunks because over time you may want to take them out. If, you know, if they've run its course, or if we've extracted all of the goods out of it, when they're too small, they're not as easily scoopable to get them out. Both the lemon and the lime, I like to peel. So I'll just slice off a little bit. The rind can get pretty bitter, which isn't my favorite. And then I just slice. I don't squeeze the lemon and the lime. So I slice on both ends. And then on the flat side, I just curve down when I peel it. If you don't mind the rinds or the skin, you can leave it on there too. Just my family doesn't like it. Next, I have my rosemary and thyme. I actually just leave them as sprigs. Just a handful of both. Put them right in on the bottom. Spread them out good. They're gonna start to fall apart as time goes by, but if you chop them up or anything, sometimes it gets stuck. It's harder to filter through. I do leave the zest on, and then I cut them as well, like little rainbows. So beautiful. And for the jalapeno, I like to take the stem off, just slice it and put it in the compost bowl. Now, I only put one jalapeno in each batch for the alkaloids, for the oils, that super decongestion component. I don't add it for the spice, but if you enjoy the spice, you're more than welcome to adjust your batch to have more or less. So now we're gonna add our garlic, and it's really important that when we use the garlic, it is either sliced or mashed. That way all of the really good components are extracted. The skin around the garlic is too dense for the apple cider vinegar to actually break through and dissolve. That is it. That's all of the vegetables, all of the fruits, and all of the herbs. So now I'm gonna pour in the apple cider vinegar. Now you can see all of the components are floating and the broth is still very clear. I like to give it a stir. Mix everything up and around. Put the lid on it and let it sit for 3 to 4 weeks. That will be amazing for you. I wanted to show you the difference. So this is the pot that we just made, and then this is my batch that's been brewing for about 5 weeks. So you can see that the broth is completely like cloudied because the garlic dissolves, the onions start to break apart, the turmeric, the lime, the herbs in there as well. In a few weeks, when the cider has become a little cloudy, after a lot of the vegetables have broken up, what you're gonna do is dilute it with some good water, because sometimes it's hard on the stomach just to be straight up apple cider vinegar. So you can use whatever water that you have. Of course, be conscious of your water. If all you have resources is tap water, water's water. But if you have the resources to get fresh spring water, do that. If you have only resources to get, bottled water, the more love that you put into it is the love that you're going to receive from it. Sometimes I use spring water from the spring down the road, and sometimes I'll use just filtered water from my tap filter. But I would say don't add the water yet until it's extracted in the acidity of the apple cider vinegar. Give it a few weeks, maybe 1 or 2, and then you can add the water. Just keep this in a safe, dry spot. Don't put it in the fridge because the coldness will slow down the extraction process. So keep it on the shelf and keep it covered, and just stir it every once in a while, every few days. And I really hope that you enjoy and that you feel inspired to return to food as medicine. And I believe that's what fire cider is, for at least on my path and my journey and the people that I have met along my apothecary journey. Fire cider seems to be the gateway into really taking back your power, using plants as medicine, using your kitchen as medicine. And I'm really, really honored that you chose to do this. From my heart and my kitchen to yours, I thank you so much for coming along on this path with me, for
taking back your family's health and reactivating the magic that lives within your heart and lives within your kitchen. Thank you so much.